back again with Michelle Thomas, a prominent divorce attorney, and our previous discussion was how to preserve a marriage to hopefully avoid divorce as we go through this quarantine and pandemic. But circumstances may dictate that a split is inevitable, or if the process had already started before the quarantine and pandemic. She's got some ideas on how you can better co-parent, and basically for the kids, it's all about the kids, correct?
It sure is. The best interest of the children is what matters most. But I have to tell you that it is nearly impossible to co-parent without effective communication. So communication comes in and plays a huge role, particularly when you have separated parties or co-parents who need to make major decisions affecting the child. And let's face it, there's been a lot of them lately that have been brought about by the pandemic, whether children should return to school or be cared for by a nanny or return to daycare or summer camps, whether travel should be allowed. I mean, these are major decisions that could have pretty serious impacts on the children, and they're tough decisions sometimes. So it's important to communicate respectfully and even go so far as to schedule a time for the conversation with your co-parent, just to demonstrate that you do respect their time and you're not taking it for granted. So that's the first step, I would say.
You just hit on some points that we were talking about on how to save the marriage and divorce. Like
there's a theme here, yeah.
And then respecting people's time. But if it didn't work then, how is it going to work now?
So there are definitely couples and co-parents who don't have the ability to talk to each other. I mean, that certainly happens a lot. There's tension that's still present a lot of times. So what you want to do then is certainly focus on documenting and or communicating in writing. So send an email, a polite email that expresses the issues, your position, the reasons for your position, whatever the issue is, and try to communicate via email as much as possible, both to document and maintain a paper trail in case you need it down the road, but also to try to get to a resolution as quickly as possible. And there are even communication apps out there that parties can utilize, specifically designed for co-parents to help with these custody types of issues that really are useful and can help facilitate the communication even better.
You also mentioned that sometimes mom and dad, they need a buffer. So you suggested, if that's the case and the communication is like this, to reach out to a mediator.
Well, sure. I mean, there can be buffers in various capacities. The first thing you can do is parties can actually seek input from a third-party professional to help them try to be this tiebreaker. So, for example, if it's a medical issue, schedule a joint call or joint session with the child's pediatrician. If it's a school issue, try to get the guidance counselor involved. And hopefully that third-party professional can help guide that conversation and help them reach a resolution. If that doesn't work, there are mediation facilities that are still available. People can Google family law mediation or family mediation centers, something like that in your respective areas. And most of these mediators are now offering remote mediation options, so that's not a barrier, and attend the session. And that mediator is specifically designed to facilitate a resolution between the two parties. It may be creative. They may be able to help you come up with ideas you never thought about before. So that's important. And if that fails, then of course you hire a lawyer. You hire your favorite family lawyer to help get you through and communicate on your behalf and or litigate if necessary.
But more than anything, keep the kids as a priority. It's not about your anger towards each other, whatever the circumstance, but keep the kid as a focus, and you should be able to make it work.
Rance, I can't tell you how important it is for you to prioritize the children's best interest over your own personal vendetta against the other party. Because remember, first of all, children are observing you. They're watching how you interact with the other parent, and they're learning behaviors from you. So it's really important to make sure that you are focused on the child, what he or she needs, and not trying to seek any kind of retribution for something that's happened in the past. Let that go, especially now.
Taking notes. If people want to connect with you and find out more information, where should they go?
They should go to our website at thomaslawdc.com. There's a lot of information on the website. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram as well, and Twitter, DC Divorce Law Firm. So feel free to find us, connect with us, and we're certainly happy to help guide people in the right direction.
All right. Well, thanks for spending some time with us, and
Thanks for having me.
hopefully our future conversations won't be such a dark hole.
Let's hope not. Thanks so much, Rance.
Del Air Heating and Air Conditioning services all major brands, including Carrier, Trane, Lennox, Goodman, and Mitsubishi. Call Del Air for our 20-point